In the corner of the room there lives a telephone. A dead telephone. Our location, Mullion Cove, southwest Cornwall. This BT box here is the last place where the line is whole and is working okay. The box again. Now if I pan up, in the distance there you can see some trees. That's Criggan Mill where the cable's cut. So the wire one's across the field in between the box here and Criggan Mill over there where the contractors have cut the cable. Here we are nearly at Criggan Mill. I'm using the zoom method like Crichton did on Red Dwarf by moving closer to things. Two BT engineers I spoke to, they traced it up to this wall and lost it somewhere in the distance there into Criggan Mill. This is the developer's sign. A few weeks before the 14th of May, when the telephone line went out, a couple of weeks before that they cut through the mains cable to Mullion Cove, and we were out without power for a day until Sweb, I think the same evening actually to be truthful, brought in a generator. It took them a few days to repair it. It was an underground break. They found theirs with no trouble at all. It's now the 3rd of June, by the way. We still have no telephone line. The interim period between the 14th of May and the 3rd of June, the contractors have started finishing off the lodges. They're putting down patios and all sorts, which is going to make it even more difficult, obviously. If I can just see the sort of stuff they're putting down there. It's going to make it even more difficult to get the ground up to find the cable, obviously. Standing by Criggan Mill, the bit I was just taking video of then, if I zoom in, you can see down in the distance, hopefully, it's a bright day today, so it's very difficult for me to see the viewfinder, but you should see a TV aerial sticking up there. It looks as though it's above that stop sign. That's our premises. That's the Potter's Wheel, Mullion Cove. We don't have any landline there. And there's a car coming. These people are born with legs. Just let me zoom out. Anyway, us and quite a few other people in the cove, in fact I think all the people in the cove, have no telephone line and have had no telephone line since the 14th of May. A lot of them have had no broadband. Jeff next door had broadband for a while, that dropped out. Our broadband is very intermittent, coming and going. But the phone, as I say, is dead on all of them, including the emergency phone, which is down in the harbour, which I'll show you in a minute. But where they cut through it for the mains cable was somewhere, this is about the middle of the site, somewhere sort of in the centre of the shot of the video camera. I'm not absolutely certain. I did see it, but of course they've covered it all over now. Where the phone line runs, I don't know, but it's probably in a similar sort of path. The only people we've seen are two Outreach, I think they're engineers who were checking, in fact, with one of these sounding devices that picks up the signal to see if they could find the break. Non-technical by their own admission. End of the Criggan Mill site. It's not particularly long, but somewhere, probably just panning around a bit, on that box there or somewhere, the phone lines come out. You can see them below the power lines there, and they go overhead then to our premises. So you can see it's, what, 100 yards or so, that's all. It's not a mysterious BT underground labyrinth. It's an open field where we can all see it, and we can all see whether they're working on it or not. So that when we get an email or anything else from BT that says we're out with our engineers working on the problem, we can see that in fact they are not. Further on, we're at the Potter's Wheel, which is our location, where our line is dead. That's the one with the aerials and the wind speed sensors on the roof. The next building down with the scaffolding sign on it is Jeffrey's. His broadband's out, his phone is out. Over visit Mullion Cove, the Potter's Wheel gift shop. This is some of the other properties in Mullion Harbour. No phone line, no internet either. Here we are down in Mullion Harbour. I'm just going to go over to the emergency telephone, which is a little green. I can zoom in on it. Again, I can't really see because of the sunlight. It's somewhere down there. Just dial 999 and ask for the Coast Guard. Unfortunately, absolutely nothing. It's dead. I mean, there must have been 3 or 4 tourists last year who were airlifted out of here because of, you know, if you look at the walls and the surrounding cliffs and things, people have accidents. They're not used to this kind of location. Somebody could die through this, apart from the fact that one of us, I mean, we're getting on a little bit. If we had an emergency during the night, what the heck are we going to do? I just backtracked to Criggan Mill because I'm going to show you the concrete bases. Jeff, our neighbour, who I've just spoken to, said they'd been onto Ofcom, who told them that the break was under concrete. Now, it probably wouldn't have been under concrete if they'd got down here a lot sooner. 14th of the May was our first contact from them. But these concrete bases are only a few inches thick. Heavens above, you could get a jackhammer and soon get them up. I mean, it was these people, KWC Contracting, that have severed the cable and our mains cable in the first place. So taking up one of their bases would be nice retribution. These are the concrete bases, probably one of these actually, these particular ones that they're talking about. I'll just zoom in on them. They haven't been down that long. I mean, people dig roads up, heavens above. Why not just splice the cable round the base if it's underneath it, dig it up one side, dig it up the other and run it round? Or better still, why not in the meantime, for the sake of your customers, run a temporary line down from up the road there. It's only about 200 or 300 yards, and so we can get back on. See the danger that visitors to Mullion Cove will face on these cliffs, and they do, unfortunately, fall over. That's a sad fact of life. Up here on the cliff, which I'll show you the drop shortly, these cliffs are why we can't get a mobile signal as well. Where I think it was last year or the year before, a gentleman with his wife and 2 children got too near the edge, fell over. Unfortunately, the rescue helicopter was of no use because he was dead. But it is a dangerous place, even though it's beautiful. This is the exact spot where it happened, sadly. Right down there. Today is a beautiful day, but when the weather's extremely rough, waves come over those sea walls. People come down here to see the spectacular of the storm. People have been washed into the harbour and died. Others have been airlifted by the air ambulance to Truro and survived. There would be a long delay before anybody could get to a telephone. That would be your fault. So there you have it, no telephones. We have a gift shop, and unfortunately, due to BT's antic, we have cash only because we have no credit card machine. So there we have it, Sir Michael and BT. Since the 14th of May, it's now the 3rd of June, and we have no telephone access. For some reason, the internet has hung on, but I can't use it properly. We sell service data for vintage radio equipment. I have to load them up so people can download them at the other end. It doesn't stay on long enough for me to do it. We also sell items on eBay. These images are from a cache in Internet Explorer. At the moment, the broadband's just gone out again.